RecTeq 1070 pellet grill burn off and review. Now, a lot of you that have been following and paying attention to my channel for a while know that I love giving you RecTeq fans a little bit of tease about being part of a cult. Well, I've always said if you can't beat them, you might as well join them. So I picked up the 1070 because I really like how this pit is designed. I only know of a couple companies out there that have the hopper in the front. So grab a bag of pellets, Louie. We're gonna amplify some backyard barbecue fun. The unboxing and assembly was a breeze on this RecTeq 1070. It took us under an hour to put this pit together. The hardest part is putting that cart together. My boys told me, make sure that I tell you, don't tighten them until you have that whole cart installed onto the pit. I would have helped them out a little bit more, but I had things to do. I was busy and I had my hands full. Now, doing the burn off is an important process of every pellet grill that you purchase. You want to make sure that you're burning out all of the debris and the impurities from the manufacturing process. It's simple, but it's heartbreaking because during the burn off, you don't have any food in there, so you're gonna prolong that first cook. The first thing that we do on the initial startup process is get in some pellets. This shelf is also your hopper lid. Pick it up and slide it open, and right in here is our hopper. I'm using some RecTeq Ultimate Blend for the burn off today. I still had a few left over from when I purchased that 340. Start dumping it in. This is a nice hopper design. 3 of the walls are tapered right towards the auger. Now, you don't have to fill it all the way like I did. You can just fill it halfway and you'll be fine, but this is a 30-pound hopper. And we'll open up our lid and grab a handful of pellets, and we're gonna place these right in the fire pot and carefully just put them right at the bottom. Just don't fill up the whole fire pot because once that auger starts kicking into gear, they'll overrun. Grab your cord and plug it in. Close up our hopper lid, and grab yourself a can of Pam, and we're gonna spray down the inside of that chamber. We just wanna get it covered up a little bit, spray down the sides, get the back wall sprayed up good, and this side, and we'll spray a little bit just on the front of the bottom chamber. But I'm not gonna spray down the back of the lid, we'll just let that season up naturally. The next step is to put the heat deflector, the drip pan, and your grates back in the pit, but I prefer to leave them out until I actually see ignition in the fire pot. So I'll just turn it on, and we're gonna turn it up to 400 degrees. You'll hear the fan kick on, and then we're just gonna watch and start looking for it to start to smolder. It's only been a couple seconds and I already smell those pellets starting to ignite. And I've heard that auger spin a couple times. You can see we're getting a little bit of ambers down there and the smoke starting to bellow. And here goes our igniter, and we have got liftoff. Grab your heat deflector, and you have 2 notches, a bigger one and a smaller one. The bigger notch goes towards the back. You got a couple catches right here, and the heat deflector fits right on top, just like that. Grab your drip pan, and we'll spray on some Pam. Spray the back side first, and this notch goes on the right-hand side. Here's your grease drain, and the other side just hooks onto these 2 catches. So this right-hand side fits just on top of that, and just center it out a little bit, get it so it's kind of even. Then take your Pam, and we'll spray this top. Now grab your bottom grate, and you can see right here, we've got a channel that just slides right in there, and it'll hold it in place. And now we'll repeat with our top one. Same thing, get her in the channel. Make sure that your rods are facing up on both grates. And now I'll close up the lid, and I'm gonna set a timer for 1 hour. We aren't worried about paint on this pit. This pit is all stainless steel, so there's no worrying about curing any paint, or in the future, looking at a spot where it peeled off. We're closing in on that 1 hour timer. It's a great time to do a walk around review on the RecTeq 1070. First thing I want to start off with is the cart. It's solid construction, it has 2 doors, and there is a magnet behind there, so you do have a catch so they won't swing open. We have 4 locking casters, but I'm not really impressed with the design because, well, you can see I can lock this one, but I'd have to swing that other one out to be able to lock it. So I wish that the bottom of the shelf on the cart had some indentations or some tits so that at least you'd be able to get your foot underneath there to lock that one other caster. But overall, I like the cart. We have a nice little built-in grease catch. I hope that I can find some type of liner for it though, because I hate
scraping out grease.
But it is nice that it's tucked away.
We have a Wi-Fi controller and it accepts 2 meat plugs.
And it comes with 2 meat probes, which is nice because a lot of times the companies just send you 1 probe even if there's 2 ports. We have a 30-pound hopper, which is plenty big enough to do an overnight cook. We'll call this a dual lid. It's your shelf and your hopper lid. Pull it open, and I really like the design of this hopper. It's right in front, boom, easy to fill, not hard to check. It's also not hard to check when the hopper is on one side or the other, but it does make it a reminder because you're right next to it when you open up and check your protein. We have a nice little probe port hole, but watch out, this thing's gonna be hot once it starts running. You have one nice sturdy handle if you gotta move the pit around. We have 1,070 square inches of cooking space. The bottom shelf is 28 by 19. Top shelf is 28 by 16 inches. And we have a clearance of just under 4.5 inches. So you might be able to get 2 small briskets on the bottom and a couple pork butts up on top. This pit is 100% designed for being in an outdoor kitchen, but you can still be like me and get the bottom cart. They say that this pit can run from 180 all the way up to 700 degrees. The controller, as far as what you read, goes up to 500, and then the next step says full. The controller is also Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, but I haven't hooked that up yet. I ran into an issue on my 340 where it wouldn't connect. Something to do with, I think, the 2400 blah 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 Wi-Fi compared to 5200 or 5500. I'm not sure. Not Mr. Wi-Fi expert, but I'm hoping to get this one hooked up because I will use this one more often. My 340 is mainly just if we're gonna run up north or if we're gonna go to one of my kids' games and we're gonna do a tailgate. But everybody knows that RecTeq does build a solid controller. Now this pit is stainless steel, and I've been asked by several people in the past what I use to clean it up and get rid of some fingerprints or any type of staining. Right now I've just been using Zep, and it works pretty good. It's awesome having stainless, but you're gonna have to put a little elbow grease on the outside to keep it nice and shiny and new. Just don't spray any of this on there when you're cooking. I'm closing in on that timer. Let's check out and see if we developed any good patina color. Oh yeah, we've got some good color developing. It's starting to season up nice. This'll work for our burn off. And you can even see that we're starting to develop a little patina on the hood. All right, my 1 hour timer off. Let's go ahead and just shut her down. Then the auger stops and it goes into fan mode for 300 seconds or 5 minutes during this shutdown procedure. And then once the cool down procedure is finished, then the auger will fill up that fire pot for around 30 seconds. This way it's all set and ready for the next time you want to get to cooking. For any of you that are wondering, you saw I leveled off the hopper, and that's how much we used after 1 hour running at 400 degrees. My overall opinion on the 1070, I like it. From what I've seen so far, I'm excited to get on this pit and get cooking some barbecue. Well, that's all I got. Roll the nation. Oh yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna get wrecked in the comments.
Racer, you always pick on us for being a cult and having belt buckles that say our brand name.
Whatever, you'll get over it. But I do like this pit, it's pretty nice. It's all shiny. Shiny and new. Don't you guys eat any peanut butter jelly sandwiches and touch it either.